Welcome back to the School of HardKnox Podcast. On this week's show, we're talking about permission and why you don't need it. Some of y'all think y'all running for Congress and you need an endorsement to follow your dreams and your goals. We about to talk about it. It is time to get on the bus because class is in session. This is episode 152 of the School of HardKnox Podcast, and it starts now. Thank you for listening to the School of HardKnox Podcast. This show is about personal development for business success. Not only do we tell the stories of successful people in order to create more successful people, we want to help you turn your thoughts and ideas into reasonable, rational, and profitable action. This show is about my life experiences, your life experiences, and how we can work together to become the best versions of ourselves. Prepare to be inspired, motivated, and most importantly, challenged. Enjoy the show. Welcome back to the School of HardKnox Podcast. I am your host, Mark W. Knox. My. I really do hope that you listened to last week's episode about excuses. That's essentially a prerequisite to this week's episode about permission, right? So this week's episode, we're going to talk about permission, and you're probably confused on what that means or what that means for you, but we're going to dive into it. First and foremost, let me thank you guys for listening to the show. Thank you for clicking on my face. Appreciate you. I want to remind you to like and subscribe on YouTube. The YouTube element of the show is doing pretty good. It's kind of difficult to remember like that we're on YouTube too, because I'm counting the views on YouTube. I'm counting the downloads, which severely outweigh the YouTube views right now. So I'm trying to get some balance and try to see where we can be the most effective version of the show. As you may have noticed, there's some just different things that's taking place in the workflow. We started using a different program. I'm going back and forth between microphones. It's a lot. As Wale would say, everything is a lot. Like it's a lot. But either way, we're moving forward. We're doing well. We're still getting encouragements. We're still getting feedback, and I appreciate you guys. Again, if you want to send me direct feedback, you can just email me, mark.w.knox@gmail.com. That's mark.w.knox@gmail.com. If you want to DM me on Instagram, it is at the School of HardKnox, or you can just type in Mark W. Knox, Knox on Instagram. You can leave comments on YouTube, all the places. If you need to find me, if you need to get to me, if you need to say something, you want to leave some feedback, I do encourage feedback. I really do encourage feedback. I encourage questions. I encourage topic ideas, anything that you might be dealing with that you might want my insight on. I would be honored to help you down that path. So, listen, today we're talking about permission, and last week we talked about excuses, and we got some pretty good feedback on the excuses piece. Like, especially there was one clip that I was talking about how when you make an excuse, you actually have to fool yourself into the excuse, right? And people just ate that up. Bunch of likes, bunch of views, a lot of engagement. But then I was like, okay, let me get down to the root on a lot of this stuff. Like, what's the root of an excuse? And I think one of the things that we don't even know we're dealing with, that we put ahead of our own dreams and goals, is like this weird sense of permission. It's like we have to get permission, or we have to get affirmation, or we have to get a pass from someone else in order for us to make the next move, or for us to go to the next level, or take the next step, or make the moves we need to make. It's weird. I thought about this earlier, and I was like, man, it just feels like a lot of people out here think they're running for Congress or city council or something, where you can't even move unless you get an endorsement, right? It's like you're waiting for an endorsement from somebody, maybe somebody with authority, maybe somebody in your family, maybe somebody that you feel like is close to you that knows your situation. You're waiting on an endorsement in order to move forward. But the reality is you don't need that. And you've never needed that, right? Like you've never needed someone else to endorse your dreams or your goals in order for you to make a move. And I know sometimes it feels like that because sometimes we're like, I can't do this unless I have these people's support, or unless these people feel like it's a good idea, or unless these. But the reality is, when you put that much weight on someone else's opinion, or when someone else's perspective that solely has to deal with where you are in your life, it becomes out of balance, and in turn it becomes out of alignment. Now you're operating out of a need for affirmation from an outside entity other than yourself, other than God, and you're getting to a point where you're leaning on the opinions, perspectives, advice, counsel of other people before you make a move. And if you listen to the show for any amount of time, especially before a season of silence, you would know what I mean when I say analysis paralysis, right? Like you're doing so much research, and you're trying to cross all your T's and dot all your I's, and you don't ever have the courage to actually start, right? So what I want to talk about today is that fact, just as it is our weird need to get permission. And for me, listen, I fall squarely in that boat. Now, I've since overcome needing permission in a lot of different areas of my life, but before my life took a turn, like we talked about last week, for the better, there was a lot of things and a lot of people that I kind of looked to for permission. And I'm pretty sure those people didn't even know I was looking for their permission or their endorsement. You would know if you were one of these people if I had a conversation with you ever in the last 3 or 4 years and I floated ideas past you. If I've ever floated an idea past you, not like a full-on presentation or not directly asking, hey, what do you think or whatever, but I floated ideas past you like, hey, I'm thinking about doing X, Y, and Z, or hey, I'm studying X, Y, and Z. That was probably me offering you the chance to offer me an affirmation or permission, right? For me offering you a chance to say, hey, man, that sounds like a good idea, or oh yeah, man, you can definitely do that, or hey, if you really into that, let me know. I might have some connects for you. Like maybe that I'm not maybe that was me doing that. That was me asking for permission, right? And I have to look back and I have to just laugh. I really do. I have to laugh, man, because like what are we doing, people? Like we're living our entire lives, because this is it. I'm here to tell you, like, ain't nobody else coming. Like, this is it. You're here. This is your life. This is the wherever you are right now. This is the situation that God has you in. This is the thing. Nobody's coming to save you. There's random checks and things showing up in the mail, that your inheritance and some long lost relatives, that it's probably not going to happen. So this is it. This is your life. And I want you to make the absolute best of it, because it is definitely a gift. But I really have to ask myself, like, what are we doing? Like, my life is just as valuable as anybody else's life. Your life is just as valuable as anybody else's life. But we constantly are almost begging for individuals to affirm us, and for individuals to endorse our ideas, and for other individuals whose lives are just as valuable as ours to take us down a path, I don't know, to make it less painful, to make it less difficult, to make it less abrasive on what we're trying to do when we talk about our dreams and goals. I'm not entirely sure. I think I asked for permission, and I think me asking for permission, not even knowing I was asking for permission or seeking affirmation or seeking an endorsement of my ideas, I think that was rooted in confidence. I have long struggled with issues in confidence. And I know that might come as a surprise to you guys. I mean, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But You would be surprised to learn that, yes, Mark W. Knox has struggled with his confidence for many, many years. Many, many years. Uh, maybe a little bit of imposter syndrome, maybe a little bit of survivor's guilt, right? Like, am I supposed to be here? Am I good enough for this particular position? Do I possess any authority on this particular topic? When it comes to the show, will people listen? Will people download? Will people write me off? Will people dismiss my ideas and my thoughts? Will I get negative comments? I've struggled with confidence, right? It's not something I've conquered just yet, to be honest. Do I even want to? I'm not sure. I'm not necessarily working toward conquering it. I'm just kind of self-healing in a sense. Let's just say that. So when we talk about permission and affirmation, for me personally, affirmation is one of my love languages. If you were to ask my wife, she would tell you specifically that affirmation is one of my love languages. It's one of my 2 love languages. The other one is acts of service, right? So when we say affirmation, when you affirm me, man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Like that's how you get to my heart. You know what I mean? That's how you get there. When you telling me I'm doing a good job, when you tell me you're proud of me, when you telling me whatever, you are somebody. Shout out to Reverend Jesse Jackson, rest in peace, right? When you do that, that right there is my love language. So me asking for permission, affirmation, and endorsement, it's just a natural thing. However, I'm here to tell you that it's not natural for me to need and seek those things before I make moves. Right? Like it's just not natural. It's not natural for me to need someone else's endorsement or permission or affirmation to take the next step in my life. You understand what I'm saying? Like my life. Again, my life is just as valuable as their life, just as valuable as the next person's life. I can't put too much stock. You can't put too much stock in what other people think is a good idea for you. Like, I get it. We got to have counsel. We got to have mentors. We got to have people we confide in. Like, yes, that is absolutely true. However, nobody is checking for you. Nobody is going to save you. Nobody is going to rescue you. You have to make the moves that you are confident that will yield the results that you are looking for without needing outside endorsement, affirmation. It just is what it is. And I know it's difficult to understand that concept, but I'm telling you right now, you do not need permission to be great. You do not need permission to follow your dreams. You do not need permission to get closer to achieving your goals. When you set yourself up and you need permission to do those things, then what you're actually doing is what we talked about last week. And that is giving an excuse. You're selling yourself short. You're getting in your own way. And I'm here to tell you that I'm so guilty of exactly what I'm talking about right now. I'm so guilty. You get caught in a rat race, and at some point in the rat race, because maybe you had success, maybe you're doing good corporately, you feel like you're ineligible to have a dream. You feel like you're not qualified to have a goal anymore outside of what you're doing. When people ascend the corporate ladder, trust me, I'm proud of you. I'm super happy for you. My assumption is that that's what you want. My assumption is that if you ascend the corporate ladder, that's what you want to do. Right? However, I do know individuals who ascend the corporate ladder and still are unfulfilled because they know they have not even come close to establishing their purpose and establishing what they're really supposed to be doing. So when that happens, you let your dreams and your goals go because you have success in this area over here, this corporate walk. And you're like, well, shoot, like I'm doing my thing over here. So whatever dreams and goals I had, you just let that go because I've already done my big boy, I've already done my big boy job over here and I'm crushing it. So yeah, maybe I wanted to mentor some at-risk youth at the Boys and Girls Club in the city. But you know what? I just got promoted to executive vice president of such and such and such and such. So I think I'm good. Like, I'll be all right. I'm telling you right now, like, why do we let go of our goals and our dreams? It's one thing if you're 35 still talking about you want to go to the NFL. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you have purpose within you that you know is there, but you've allowed your success in other areas to overshadow that purpose. And you just assume that that success has now become your purpose. And it's not. I'm here to tell you, even me, my business and what I do with audio and video, that is not my purpose. Okay. Now, the people I reach, the people I talk to, the people I inspire, the people I influence, the relationships that I create while doing what it is that my business does, that contributes to my purpose. So yes, you can balance a what do you call it? I don't even know. You can balance a spreadsheet. You can balance your, you great at finance. You great at engineering. You great at marketing. You great at sales. I get it. Like, you dope at it. You getting promoted. You getting raises. That's not your purpose. That function is not your purpose. Your purpose is not like, my purpose is to be on this earth and to be the best mechanical engineer that God has ever created. That is not your purpose. This is not. And I say that to say that thinking that it is, or thinking that you can just ride that into your purpose, is a false narrative. And this is where permission comes in, because you're riding that success in that one area. You're riding that into what you feel like is your purpose. And I'm telling you that it's not conclusively. You ride that, and then you let go of all these things over here because nobody ever gave you permission to turn your back, walk away, take a pause from your corporate success or from your occupational success, right? Nobody ever gave you permission to put that down, to table that, to put that on the back burner so that you could actually operate in your God-given purpose. It's a very dangerous walk that a lot of us are on, thinking that just because we achieve so much professionally, corporately, occupationally, that we're good. I'm here to tell you, LinkedIn does not have a heavenly address. Like, LinkedIn is not going to follow you. Your resume ain't going to follow you to salvation. Like, your resume is not, it's not going to be on your spreadsheet of life. It's not going to be there. But I'm trying to explain to you how important making moves without permission is. Because a lot of us are waiting for permission, and it's never going to come. Not only is it never going to come because you don't need it, but it's never going to come because once you get to a certain level, there's less and less individuals that feel like they can even give you permission, that feel like they can even affirm you, that feel like they can even endorse you. There's some politicians don't need an endorsement. You don't need no endorsement. Why? You need no endorsement. What you need an endorsement for? I'm going to win. Everybody like me, right? I don't need your affirmation. Okay. And that's where a lot of you guys are headed. You're headed to the mountaintop. Hooray, hooray. Let me give you a round of applause. Well, actually, you know what? I got a little applause, little situation right here. Hooray, hooray. I give you a round of applause. You're going to the mountaintop. You're doing your thing corporately. You're doing your thing professionally. You're doing your thing occupationally. Wow, look at you. And at the end of that road, I don't want you to be the person who's sitting there with an unfulfilled purpose. Your 401k is fat. Ain't nobody arguing that. Good job. You did your thing. But did you really? Or was you sitting around waiting for permission the whole time? That's a question that you're going to have to answer. It really is. We'll be right back. We're going to hear from Crown Kids, and then we're going to get into our last segment. We're going to get into extra credit. Be right back.
Knox Nation, quick question. When was the last time you got a break and your kids got their hair done right? That's what we help you do at Crown Kids Healthy Hair Care Salon. Clean parts, healthy hair routines, and a team that knows how to keep kids calm, comfortable, and confident. Yes, we even help our sensory-sensitive kiddos. We are located inside of Liberty Mall, just north of Cincinnati, Ohio. Book your next hair appointment, hair party, or group class with Crown Kids, and let's keep those crowns looking right. For more information, just visit us at crownkidshair.com. Again, that's crownkidshair.com.
And we are back. School of HardKnox Podcast. Your host, Mark W. Knox. Man, permission. Okay, like, permission is crazy when you really think about it. And since this is School of HardKnox, let's go back into time. If you are a millennial or slightly older, if you're a millennial or slightly older, so maybe millennials and Gen X. And if you hear my kids in the background, they my kids. Like, that's just what it is. We in Red Room Studios. Then you went on field trips as a kid. Now, I have 3 children. I have 2 in kindergarten, 1 in the 4th grade. And field trips, y'all, I'm here to tell you, whatever the reason in this particular school district, field trips, they non-existent. They might go on 1 field trip a year. They usually take 1 field trip at the end of the year. When I was in the 4th grade, Cincinnati Public, Linwood Elementary on Eastern Avenue, in the East End, we was doing field trips. Man, we probably had 4 field trips a year. Reds game, Museum Center. Heck, we might just do bag lunches and walk up to Alt Park and have a nature day. The Taft Theater. Like, we used to have field trips, okay? And what comes with a field trip? A couple weeks before the field trip, the teacher does a presentation where she makes or he makes the announcement, and they stand up in front of the class and they say, okay, I want to make an announcement about an upcoming field trip. And the class goes crazy. Field trip. We going on a field trip. Because listen, the thing about going on a field trip in elementary school, this is how deep it is that you get to ride the bus with people in your class. See, when you ride the bus every day to school back and forth, a lot of those people that you ride the bus with, they not even in your class. They not even in your grade because they don't live in the same neighborhood as you. Right. But when you go on a field trip, you go on a field trip with your class. Exciting. So you actually get to ride the bus with people in your class, your actual friends. So the teacher's standing up there and they're like, okay, I got the field trip. You know what I mean? We got the thing. Here's the information. And what do they give you to take home to your parents? What do they give you to take home to your parents? They give you a permission slip. Now, on this permission slip, it has what? It has multiple details on the permission slip. It has details about the day, the time, who's coming, if they need chaperones. It has information about how much it's going to cost, how long you're going to be there, right? Just a wealth of information. It has information about the lunch situation, right? You're going to pack lunch. Do you need to bring money? Do you need to, it's got all these details. You go home, you hand the paper to your parent. You say, I need you to sign this, and I need $5 or I need $16. It's always a random number for a field trip. I need $3.82. It's super random. They sign it, you take it back, and you are granted permission. Well, I'm here to tell you folks, you're going on a field trip. It's called life. It's called this entrepreneurial journey. It's called the path to success. It's called the path to achieving your dreams and your goals. And you do not actually need a permission slip. You do need the details of the permission slip, as we talked about a few weeks ago. But you don't actually need anyone to sign your permission slip. You don't actually need an endorsement to go on this trip or this journey. All you need is the will, the courage, and the overall audacity to launch out. And that could be something small, that could be something big. But you got to get to the point where you stop asking for permission and you stop looking for endorsements and you stop looking for affirmation in order to be who God called you to be. If you truly believe that, the only permission you need, you already got. You got it when you were born. That's all the permission you need. You're here. This is your life. Now, when this podcast comes out, I will be, Lord have mercy, I will be 10 days from turning 41 years old. And I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this is my life. This is the thing. This is it. I'm living it. And I'm trying to crush it. I'm telling you right now, I'm trying to crush it. I'm trying to do my thing. I told my best friend, I told Everett, who turned 41 yesterday. I told him, I said, bro, the work is implied. We're gonna work. We've already proven that. We know how to work. We gonna work. We gonna get it done. I said, but it's time to start living. It's time to start having fun. It's time to start having joy. It's time to start doing the things that you always wanted to do that you may not have been sure that other people expected you to do. It's time. And we here. So listen, for extra credit this week, and again, extra credit, y'all. Extra credit is not about just doing work to do work. Extra credit is about what? Extra credit is about doing things that nobody else is willing to do so you can go places that many people won't ever get to go. Okay? Extra credit. And again, extra credit is always going to have a spiritual element because just like I told you a minute ago, this is who I am. This is my life. All right? So I'm going to get you the affirmation that's associated with this week's extra credit goes like this. I am allowed to outgrow old versions of myself without guilt. I'm going to say that one more time. I am allowed to outgrow old versions of myself without guilt. That comes from the root scripture, Isaiah 43, 18 through 19. Isaiah 43, 18 through 19. Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. You gotta go. You gotta go. You have to go. You have to go. You have to go. You have to move. You cannot sit still too long or you will grow roots, and not the good kind. You'll grow roots that'll keep you in the same place. Okay. You have to go. And when we talk about outgrowing old versions of yourself have you making excuses. Old versions of yourself have you waiting on permission. You don't have time for that anymore. You have to outgrow old versions of yourself. You have to be bold. You have to be courageous. You have to have the audacity to move. Now, if that sounds like a motivational speech, then that means that you were motivated, and I appreciate you. If that sounds like inspiration, then that means you was inspired, and I appreciate you too. But I'm just trying to make it plain. You got to go. You got to go. So this is what I want you to do for extra credit. It's something in your life, like there's something that you want to do. There's something, there's a goal, there's a dream, there's something there that last week you told yourself, I'm done making excuses for. But this week, I want you to move a little bit further. I want you to take a little bit more of a risk. I want you to get a little bit more uncomfortable. And I want you to say, you know what, self, you got this. You don't need anybody's permission. You're a grown up. If you listen to my show 9 times out of 10, you're a grown up. Guess what grown-ups do? They do what grown-ups do. Be grown. You don't need permission. When I was a kid, we used to go to the grocery store. And man, what did your parents tell you when you got out the car? Y'all are literally walking into the grocery store. You are getting out of the car. You are walking through the parking lot. And before you hit those automatic sliding doors and you grab that cart, your mother, what does she say? She says, don't ask me for nothing when we get in this store. Now, when we get in the store, I'm a foodie, y'all. I've been a foodie since the day I was born, most likely. I don't know, but I love me cuisine, all types. When you get into a nice store, a nice grocery store, and for me, that was Biggs in Ridge on Highland Avenue or Ridge Avenue, old school. If you know, you know. You get into a nice big grocery store, man, you see all kind of stuff that you want when you a kid. Yes, you see candy and chips and all the junk food, but you also see the cereal aisle, right? And you go down the cereal aisle and you like, man, I want the chocolate, cocoa, peanut butter, chocolate chip joints, or you want the toy that's in the box, or you might want the Cheez-Its, or you might want the Rice Krispie treat. Like you just want all kinds of stuff. But your mother already said, don't ask me. So you knew you wasn't getting it. There wasn't no point to ask. I always told myself, when I get grown, when I get an adult, when I get my own money, I'm going to come into this store and I'm buying everything that I used to want to buy because I don't need permission anymore. That's the mindset I need you to have. It's nobody in your way. It's nobody in your way. It's nobody holding you up but you. Get to the point where you walk in the store and you pick up and put in your cart whatever you want. You don't need permission. You're an adult. So find that thing, find that one thing that you were making excuses for, get rid of those, and then take that thing a little bit further and tell yourself, I no longer need permission, affirmation, or endorsement because I'm about to move. Listen, this has been the School of HardKnox Podcast. I'm your host, Mark W. Knox, and that is permission. If you need permission, I'm giving you permission. So if you didn't hear nothing else I just said, you didn't hear the last 33 minutes of the show about not needing permission, let me just do you a solid. Permission granted. Okay? I'm endorsing your idea right now. You can do it. Oh, man, you guys are great. Listen, this has been the School of HardKnox Podcast. I am your host, Mark W. Knox. See you next week. Class dismissed. Thank you for listening to the School of HardKnox Podcast. You can find our archives as well as new episodes by subscribing on Apple Podcast. Questions or concerns or feedback about the show? Message me directly on Instagram at the School of HardKnox. That's KNOX. Thank you for listening. See you next week.